Who are the two sides fighting each other and why are they fighting?
It's really been fermenting for a number of years, and it's two sides that used to be essentially part of the same tree. They were part of the same political party which governed Ethiopia for 25 plus years. There's a coalition of ethno-linguistic parties within the federation, and the Tigrayan party, the TPLF, was the dominant force. Now, there was a falling out which followed a long series of protests that had raged in the country, which led to a new Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, being elevated to power. He has fallen out with the Tigrayan party, which retreated to the regional capital, Mekelle, and now the federal government and the Tigrayan party are at odds. And that essentially, through a number of months of escalation, led to the start of a brutal conflict in the Tigray region in the north of Ethiopia from November of last year.
Can any ceasefire be pursued now to reach some sort of political settlement, do you think?
There's increasing enmity, I think, on both sides, which makes it difficult to foresee the conflict tailing off at the moment. There was a hope that when the government called for a humanitarian ceasefire and had actually pulled the national army out of the region, that might lead to a calming of the fighting. But there are a number of disputed regions, and with the Tigrayan forces having taken back much of the territory in the region and the regional capital, they've also sought to push into those disputed regions, push back into the western part of Tigray. On a ceasefire, it doesn't look as if that's immediately likely, given the enmity and continued fighting that we're seeing. But I think on a broader level, there is a lot of international pressure on both sides, I should add, to try and pursue a kind of holistic ceasefire, an unconditional one. For Ethiopia, a country that has had so much promise in the recent years, especially with the transition taking place, for it to move forward peacefully to provide security for this country, which is a regional linchpin, home of the African Union as well. Ethiopia